Hello, and thank you for joining the Catapult Acquisitive Company event, Driving Digital Transformation in State and Local Government. My name is Spencer Stern, and I'm the Senior Director of the Global Business Applications Practice at Catapult. Today, we're going to be reviewing a demo of the Catapult approach to returning to the workplace and the process that we've put in place to help enable that. Robert McNeil, one of our consultants, will be leading the demo, which will be starting very shortly. Before we jump into it, I just wanted to share with you some of the key differentiators of our approach to enabling return to the workplace. One of the key things, first of all, it's built on the Microsoft platform. One of the key benefits is its seamless compatibility with mobile devices. Much more so in the past, we have become reliant on our mobile devices as our primary means of communication. And to help enable our staff return to the workplace, it's so critical to be able to seamlessly utilize any application with your mobile devices to allow people entry to buildings, facilities, etc. Another huge benefit is because it's built on the Microsoft platform, it's a very familiar, easy to use interface. For people who've used a CRM system, Outlook, Power Platform, the interface with our return to work process will look very similar. Another huge benefit, as I said, is not only by building this on the Microsoft platform, very rapid deployment process. And one thing that we've noticed with the rapid deployment process is a very quick user adoption, which is so critical to success here. If your employees are not using the application, you're not getting the benefit of it, you're not getting the efficiencies. Another huge benefit is the consistent innovation that Microsoft drives through their technologies, their CRM platforms, their Power Platform, etc. Lastly, because it is built on the Microsoft stack, it can process a large amount of data rapidly, efficiently, and securely. So what we're going to do next is Robert McNeil is going to jump in to do the demo. And then after the demo, I encourage you all to scan these QR codes and submit your feedback so we can drive continuous improvement in our process. Thanks so much for your attention. Have a great day.
Good morning. Today we are going to go over the Quisitive back to work solution. Uh, as you'll see on my screen, we have the user portal branded in the Quisitive logo. Any of this information or any of these logos can be updated any which way you would like. Currently, you'll see that we have the login button here. This is attached to the Quisitive Active Directory as it could be used for login any which way if you have just email or if you want to use Active Directory to attach it to your Microsoft account. Um, this is a very flexible tool using the Microsoft Power Platform portals and the Power Apps device based on Dynamics CRM. We'll cover that port a little bit later, but we just wanted to show the patient portal, some of the functionality with how that works, and then we will show the back end. So as you'll see across the top, this is the access to the patient portal. We have our current date, your past status, which is your ability to know if you are clear to go back to work. We'll cover that a little bit more here shortly. And as you'll see that you have all the information here for a user. So across the top, you'll have our daily health screener, which is what the page you're currently looking at. FAQs, your frequently asked questions. These can be updated to any information that you would like, depending on your end user's questions or any situations that you think would be valid to be applied here, as they just are expandable. We have our test results option here, which is this is if you're taking a current COVID test, you can input that information into the system and it will be able to give you a pass based on that or update your profile um, back on your daily health screener. You also see we have the profile page here, which is standard within the web portal. You can specify all of this information, preferred language, and this can be expanded on or retracted um, based on any company's needs. So I'm going to go back to the daily health screener. And as you'll see here, we're only showing a couple of grids right now. You can add that test results grid to have some more information if you would prefer that. But as you'll see across the top, we have some information filled in. I am Robert McNeil. This is my status, or this is my page. And as you'll see, we have our vaccination summary, so all the vaccination history. We have the first dose of Moderna, second dose of Moderna, and then the Moderna booster. All of the added doses or booster doses function in the same way. It would just be going in a chronological order. So if there were no boosters or doses under the vaccination summary and you wanted to add one, this button would just say add first booster or add second booster if, or add, I'm sorry, first dose or add second dose if it is if the first one is already added. But because we have a booster, we can go in and add that. You also and be able to import your VCIs. And then you have the ability to do a daily screening for an office pass, and you'll see some of the history here. Um, you can view and show what this information is, and it's just the assessment that was completed um, per the requirements to have access to the office. And you'll see that we have a green pass, a yellow pass, and a red pass. The green pass means you can come into the office with no restrictions. A yellow pass would be a mask required. That would be if you've had um, COVID symptoms in the last 7 days, but you are vaccinated, you're allowed to come in after those after that time period that is set, and that information can be adjusted too. Or if you're currently showing symptoms, it would give you a red pass and it would say please work from home, contact your manager. But where we'll start with is we'll add a booster dose here, and it is a very quick piece to add. So this all of this functionality is meant to be done very swiftly as an upkeep to keeping the flow of work done. So um, what we have here is I'm just implementing some information. So today is 6/3/2022. I have the Moderna because of the previous piece. If you wanted to change this, only Moderna has the booster for this specific scenario. Your vaccination clinic, so wherever you got it, I got it at a CVS in Fort Lauderdale. Lot number if you did a drive through. You have your smart card immunization, so that's your VCI. You can upload those into the system and it would actually complete this for you. And then here you're required to upload a vaccination card. So as you'll see here, just uploading my vaccine card. And what this does is this gives the ability to have a user flag this. So a user can come in and this has been put in, your vaccine attestation view. A user on the back end could come in and say, okay, I've seen your Moderna booster. I just want to make sure everything looks good for, any type of random check or anything like that. You're able to pull up the record here and it would pop out again, just like that in a web view. You can see the card and verify the information on it. And that's the rest of that view. You get this information, and this is now a record within the system. So when I click OK, now you'll see down here at the bottom, I have my booster dose. I'm able to delete that, but as you delete it, you have to go back in a linear order to be able to delete it. So you can't come back and delete your first dose unless you remove those boosters to make any updates. But you really shouldn't be doing that in that way anyway. So from there, we will move into the daily screening for the office pass. So this will say as I have all my booster doses and I want to come into the office. So our daily health screening, you can add or remove as many questions as you want. So you'll see here, these are just symptoms um, for the assessment. So if I would check yes to any of these, that would flag it as a red pass to say no, I'm not supposed to come into the office today, but no, I'm good. I don't have any nausea or vomiting, any shortness of breath, any sore throat. And now you'll see that as we click into that, you've done one of one. Have you been in close contact less than 6 feet away for 15 minutes with somebody who may have and or tested positive for COVID-19? No, I have not. Again, if you did answered positive, answered yes, then you would get that red pass. And all these questions can be updated very easily. Whether it is you want to update the wording or you want to add a completely new question and archive another one, you'll be able to archive those questions and keep the historical data for anybody that's completed assessments in the past. And then just what location you're at. So these are all locations um, for the Quisitive office, and you'll see from there that what location would I like to visit? I would like to visit the Science Hill office, and from there you'll kind of go ahead and you can again click multiple if you need a couple passes, if you're a manager and you have a couple locations you have to touch today and they're all close enough, that is an option. It's a multi-select. Or again, you could fill in other and kind of drive forward there. And then what date would you like to request your pass? So you can click in there, or you can type it in like I did at the beginning. So you'll see I'll do a pass for this. And so now I'm clicking submit, and it will start to process. And this is just the workflow on the back end, grabbing all the answers from the assessment. And you'll see there that I have an unrestricted pass. And when the pass expires, this is a green pass. You'll see the check mark. And you also get a QR code. So what you will get is an email when this comes out, and then you can pull that email up on your phone. And if your office wants to scan the QR code back into the system, you'll be able to say, okay, what's the information on that? And you can pull, this will pull the whole patient record and say, okay, I have a green pass. And any information associated to that. So you'll see here we have the green pass here for today, and this will basically pull these answers just to verify it. So I will also show what I have here. Now I have my pass. So right here, I would like to click and do that, download the pictures, and you'll see that we get the green pass in the QR code with all of your information that you would like to show. Going back, this is the patient portal version of it. This is really the core of our back to work piece. This will be for most of the employees that are using it. I did want to take a second and show some of the functionality on the back end for users that would be working the system. So you'll see here we have different types of dashboards. We have the vaccination overview, and you can just simply track this as say a security guard or somebody that's head of office, the office secretary. If they wanted to have this, you can see your active vaccinations, your contact passes, and all the contacts that are within the system. If you wanted to use the case functionality to track it even further, that is another part of the solution that we can add on, which would be if somebody tests positive, it would create a case, and then that would drive towards tracking and recovery for that specific contact until you know that they're good enough to come back into the office. Here we have again our active contacts view. I'm going to come down to my record down here, and you'll see all of the information that is able to be filled up. So you'll see this morning we had filled out my assessment for today. My status is vaccinated. Any and all information that you want to add or see here is really what it is used for. But you'll see under the details pane we have work profile, where we're doing it, what we're doing. My vaccination statuses. So again, this is the grid that is shown on the portal. Here you'll be able to see my first dose, second dose, and my 2 booster doses and the dates they were done. If you have vaccination refusal, you can do that. Any contacts associated, and then you come here and you'll see that these are my assessments. So these are the assessments that I've taken. You'll see my assessment down here, and then you'll see that the responses come in a different grid, and you're able to see specific answers, as you can kind of see option no. If there's a right an answer, it would come here, and the date and all of that information. Same thing with symptoms. If you have symptoms, that's where these come in. So all of these assessments log the answers specifically within the system, so you have that historical information to track. Going back to passes, tests, and all of that. All of that is again right on the contact record itself, and from there you'll be able to see that. But then again, this is a back end user, so somebody that would be working an administrative position that would have access to this. I also did want to jump into the portal and just to show really quickly some of the configuration of the patient portal and how it is. It's not a technical thing to set up. It is all again within Dynamics, and it is in here to be able to um, be set up again with by adding records to grids and things like that. A lot of how Dynamics functions in itself. So if you're comfortable with Dynamics, or you're savvy with Dynamics, you would take a training and you'd be able to make updates to the portal as you would go, and you'll just see that again. All of these pieces tie back to where we're at on the portal by updating some of the specific records. You'll be able to see that. If you have any questions on anything that we've covered, please reach out to the host of this demonstration. And from there, I wanted to say thank you very much.